Alright guys, welcome back to part 8 of Let's Play Endless Space 2 with the Vodyani. We are now close to the victory condition. Soon we will have the ability to mine Orichalcics, and then we're going to get cultural inverdicts, and we will then have the ability to build obelisks of space-time. And I have several systems that are extremely powerful as far as production goes, so should not be long after that. Okay, this guy is a fleet hero. I'll keep giving him hull plating penetration. And let's get this fleet of 10 missile ships, and I will put him on there. And you just go defend Loris. Daro Santiago. Yeah, I'm gonna give him that. Admittedly, I gave him an influence skill when, as you can see up here, I have no practical use for any more influence. I was just doing that because in my brain it makes the most sense to put a Senate boosting skill on a Senate leader. So, as you can see, these two bonuses are lots and lots of influence surplus. Really, that's the thing, is unless you're United Empire and have the United Empire affinity that lets you spend influence to build things, you will generally late in the game reach a point where influence generation, yeah, it's useful to get for you know, improving your system's border growth, but it's not actually the stuff itself. It's not something you really need any more of, right? And happiness. Now that I can start making level 4 systems, I want to start looking into repealing the Saints and Sinners bill. Once again, I am on track to win the game before I win my faction quest. And of course the Vodyani have a faction quest. The last stage of it involves blowing up at least 2 hot planets, and I'm going to be perfectly honest when I say that I almost never finish the Vodyani quest before I've won the game, because of that, because there's very few instances where you actually need to build planet crackers and wait for them to charge up when you're invading a system. Planet destroying is more of a just to spite the other guy than in like an actual useful thing. Scavenger 22. Boy, he upgrades his ships more often than I do. I don't tend to upgrade them in super small increments. I'm more likely to upgrade them, leave them as they are for a while, and have the upgrade be a relatively big jump. Alright, let's see. Yeah, heal plus 20% shield capacity on ship. He's not a political leader, and everything else on here is for systems, so plus 2 shield on ship, 20% shield capacity on ship. That's only his own ship. That's not the whole fleet. So that's why that one's not that great. Alright. Yep, you orbited that. Now I'm going to send him over to Gonos, and I'll send a probe to locate that system and orbit that one. Meanwhile, Gobris Let's make that level 3. Build the defense buildings too. I'm not really worried about a Craver attack at this point. I mean, they've got a lot of nasty stuff that they could attack me with. That's undoubtable. But I'm now okay. What is that? That's 6. All right, let's build 1 brand and 1 more missiler. Increase trade value. I have a lot of fleets too, and well, the systems where I would be building. Once I get the technology, I'm probably going to build my 3 wonders in here, Vega and Nos. I could potentially build one in Lors, that's high production, but if at that time Lors is fighting off a Craver invasion, it would be better to build it somewhere deeper in the off chance that I lose that system. I don't think I'm going to lose this system, because it's well defended. Let's see, which one of these? Yeah, that's got the hero on it. Always, if your fleets heavily outnumber them, you want the fleet that has a hero on it to be the one that kills the guy so that your hero gets experience.
Tell us what you plan.
Battle the Craver Nest. Maybe you shouldn't send ships into my territory, dickbag. Either way, I've got a fairly substantial defensive force up here. Once I get cultural and verdicts and can start building my obelisks of all space times, I want to switch back into the military technology tree, because at that point the only thing that needs to happen is I stay alive while I build wonders. Oh, I'm close to achieving an economic victory? That's the other thing about economic victories. It's more or less the only victory you can get by accident. I think it's poorly balanced as far as economic victory goes. I think it it should require more dust than it does. Okay, now I can build another arc. I gotta... See, that's what I'm talking about, though, with Vodyani, is, like, once you win a war against someone, don't finish them off. Leave a system alive that you can just have a crap load of leechers in. Because I'm generating so much essence, I can build another arc every couple of turns. I don't even really need another arc. Let's see. Menace has Dust Water. It's got 2 Dust Water. And Gonos has also 2 Dust Water. And... of course, both of them are shitty ice planet systems. Okay, but this one at least doesn't have a negative anomaly on one of the planets. So that is what it's going to do. And Clef Saint Sayosha's gained experience. I will also make her maintenance free. Oh yeah, that's my titanium mining system. And you know, let's take a look at this. Yeah, I can have 2 more trade subsidiaries. Which, honestly, I've been kind of slacking on that. Really, how close am I to the 3rd company? Oh, new trading company requests a headquarters location. That means I'm going to build it here in the Baron system, because I got a subsidiary over here, but I've got another subsidiary over here, and I'm thinking of putting another subsidiary in Kamos, and it'll just go through most of the same systems and cut through Menace, and yeah, that's what I'll do. Trade Company, HQ. And I'm just going to buy the subsidiary because it does not have enough production to make it in one turn. And for that matter, I can have 2 more subsidiaries beyond that, so putting one perhaps in either Nalin or Omdor for Voidstone. Well, I think Omdor, because the 2 companies here will go through Nalin to get to Omdor, and this company in Viran is it'd either go to Omdor or to Nalin, but it's not going to go through both. So let's well, I cannot build the subsidiary there until after the next trade company's done, but that'll be next turn, so I just gotta remember to do that. Now at last I have a probe. Alright, 20% more manpower on the Empire, and the turn with a stock of 600 in my Empire. Gee, how will I get to 600 from 28,000? It took way too long to get that stage of the quest done. And then that's like way over there, so I'm going to have them fly to this little nebula and shoot another probe out to discover that. But, you know, it's just a thing. You can win the game without finishing your faction quest. You often do. And waiting around for a ward that will increase your yields, well, you don't really need to increase your yields if you can win before you get that reward. So alright, now I'm producing all the strategic resources. Alright, done. Now, the religious ideology can have no active laws for a period of 8 turns. That's part of the quest. And even though, honestly, I am unlikely to finish my faction quest, I'm just gonna keep working on it as though I were unlikely to finish it right now. Probably the smart thing to do would be to stick with Saints and Sinners build, because I'm at 7 systems above my colonization limit. But what I'm going to do is, well, first I'm going to get this trade company rolling. And buy the subsidiary. I mean, just build a subsidiary now, and it's only 1 turn. So, it unlocks on cultural verdicts. This is an important thing to know about system happiness. So that's going to do number 1, plus 2 systems occupied before expansion disapproval. So that'll increase my base from 7 to 9. But this building here, the autonomous administration, you can only build it in a level 4 system, but every one of those increases this limit by 1 more. So essentially, once you have the ability to reliably produce level 4 systems, you can get rid of your over-colonization limit and colonize as much as you want. Now, I don't know how far behind I'm going to be on happiness without Saints and Sinners. Probably going to have a few systems that are pissed off, but I'm going to abolish it now, and we'll see what's going on next turn. Although, if I want to abolish it, I might as well pass us or them. I got per 20 happiness per home system, so that's my own home system, plus the Lumeris home system. So that'll be plus 40 approval from that law. That's a really good law if you have been doing lots of fighting. Honestly, it can actually be kind of overpowered. So, yeah, people are very angry right now. So angry, in fact, that I'm going to abolish species stability and let's see what the best. Probably Senator Bob Act. Senator Bobak, as I mentioned at the very beginning of the game, treats Vodyani population like any other population. It'll be -2 on every slot, not just the number. However, it also, gives the happiness for everything, so. It's just system. Alright. Approval buildings. Approval buildings. Actually, before the... Yeah. And then colonial rights. I want to build these now because now I can actually mine the quadrinex, so strategic resources are a thing. Oh, okay, Menace, that's right, this is the new one. Mutinous. Yeah, -80 from overcolonization. So it's 10 per system. Unless you're like the United Empire, it's only like 7.5 per system from overcolonization for them because they get a reduction to overcolonization happiness. But essentially, once 2 turns from now, I start building those autonomous administrations. That essentially means that while you're overcolonized, it's a +10 happiness to every building in your empire, which is quite nice. Pay for that. Can I afford to buy that out? No, I cannot. Alright, well, that'll work. Pirates, yet again, are attacking things they cannot defeat. Alright, so now we're doing a little bit better. Nobody's rebelling, but obviously the Saints and Sinners bill is a really good way to let you expand a lot farther than you could otherwise support earlier in the game, because getting level 4 system developments and a lot of the better happiness buildings is difficult until you not even difficult, it's just impossible until you get deeper in the tech tree. And that's one of the nice things is about the religious party, is it lets you do that. Alright, get another level 4 modernization here. Yeah, you guys. I don't think have I met these green player? Oh, what are the Lumeris doing over here? Well, they're probably gonna shit their pants when they see my fleet, but I really am just passing through. I don't care about invading something way over in the middle of nowhere here, and I don't have any leechers with this guy, so... Be the first to reach 60 population within your empire. Close to achieving victory wonder. It says that as soon as you unlock the ability to start building wonders, which I have just done. Also, now that I have less overcolonization problems, I'm pushing up into content again. So my happiness situation is a lot better now. Anyway, here system. Build obelisk of all space-time. Actually, I'm going to build the +5 per person strategic okay, so that only has that adamantium deposit, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why did I count? It's always going to be 7. It's 7 on all planets. So 7 times 5 is 35. 35 production per turn will not speed up this wonder by 3 more turns, so it's not worth building this first. So yeah, that is 10 turns from now. And the his defenses. Oh god, I want it, not that. Optics Research Labs. It'll be done in 1 turn, and 25% more science is always good. Then you also build an obelisk of all space-time. And this fleet, I'm just gonna send that to Lores. Just make the Cravers really think twice before they invade me there. So, autonomous administration. That's always done in 1 turn. Well, not always done in 1 turn, but it's usually done in 1 turn because it only takes 1,000 industry, and by the time a system is level 4, it should be able to build that in 1 turn. It does cost you 1,000 influence to build, which, of course, I have plenty to afford that. But yeah, so this is going to reduce my overcolonization penalty. It'll just be a global happiness buff. And I might as well build a distributed energy. Because I can't start construction on another obelisk right now until I mine some more Argochakix for next turn. Although 7 plus 6 is only 13, and as I recall on the marketplace, let's see how much Argochakix there is here. Yeah, there's still only 2. Okay, so I'm not going to queue that, but I will buy those 2 before someone else grabs them. So now next turn I can start production on the final one of those. And I'm going to get Infallible Authority on him, too. Just double up my Infallible Authority buff. Woo! Yeah, Vodyani had... Like, Infallible Authority is definitely my favorite skill for a hero to have. It's really great on governors, and it's really, really great in the Senate. Yeah, and of course... Let's just unlock all 3 of these real quick here. Get the next tier opened up. And I guess I'm just gonna have to wait a couple turns for that system to get spotted by the probe. Now, obviously, repealing species stability, you see it's really decreased my essence per turn, but at this point that's not very important because I don't really have many more systems I need to settle. No, I don't want a truce. I'll give you a truce when Naos is at 0, and I can't... This is just to spite you. You can't force a truce on me. I have so much influence. What do you think you're gonna do, you stupid AI? And yeah, building it in this system would take 16 turns, which is more turns than I want to wait. Speaking of things taking more turns than you want. Okay, that. This guy has got the plus 30% production skill, Vox Populi, which means voice of the people in Latin, for anyone who wants to know. But I'm going to drop him back on Nos so that he will make my wonder. See, now it's down to 8 turns, be done 30% faster. Go, Briss. 10 turns for that. Yeah, I'll build that in Gobris. Gobris is a 5-planet system. Got some power production. So, 10 turns. 8 turns and 9 turns. Okay, so I win in 10 turns. All I have to do is, I mean, it looks like they are preparing to invade and they're massing on my borders. So all I have to do is stay alive for 10 turns, which should be pretty doable. The other possibility, just out of concern, how long would it take to build that there? 9 turns in this system, and wait a second. Oh, it only takes 10 Quadronics and Orichalcix to build an Obelisk of All Space-Time, not 15. Alright, well, I was wrong about that number. I could cancel it here and try to build it in Vega instead, because if I do lose the lore system, the Gobra system is pretty much fucked, because this is where all the fleets are. But I believe these guys, they're gonna stay in Gobris as the Gobris, like, just in case we need to buy some time. Because it will not, it is... I have every reason to expect the Cravers are going to come and try to kill me. That's just what they do. Lors is my most fortified system. I've got a bunch of fleets there. If the Cravers try something, I should be ready for them. And, you know, the AI is... I'm tied for 3rd. I don't even... I mean, I guess some of those pirates I killed were part of the quest. Yeah, I didn't unlock the special fighters and bombers. Search the curiosity on Hidel 5. Oh, and of course that's in Craver too. I'm not even gonna try that quest. Flying in there right now is suicide. Alright, I'm gonna increase fleet size. +2 per hull types on Empire. Actually, I'm gonna get that because I can, 0 turns, like, yeah, that's 4,000, and I make 11,000 science per turn, and I have 9,000 surplus. So I'm gonna do that because that'll make this increase it by 2 more. And that with I think I've got, what is that, 5 hull types, maybe 6. So that should increase my fleet size by 10 or 12. So that's a good technology there. And then I'm gonna go advanced game theory. You know, I could go advanced game theory, or I could, because I've got that Hisho hero who's going projectile, and I have a bunch of missile fleets now, and I do have more adamantium than antimatter. And sometimes alternating is good, so that it's like you have a decent enough option in both sides of it. Yeah, I'll try tensor algorithms and make my missile ships better. Clef Saint Sayosha, who's leveled up. Is there anything left I can give her that's actually useful for a hero in a system? She's not a political leader. I mean, plus 100 manpower capacity on a system is not that great. Minus 25%. Assignment duration. Screw it. I'll give her 100 capacity for manpower. And I will move her up to Lores, because the extra manpower is going to be most useful here. So as far as victory goes, do I need to build? Yeah, 0 out of 3 Obelisk of All Space-Time. If I were in an alliance with some people, what is... Are they going to try and attack me by flying to Arcob? I guess they're trying to go to Naos rather than some sort of suicide attack on me. Okay, how much am I? Okay, 20.1. That's not bad. I can make one more trade subsidiary. I got the one in Nallen already. And Kamos. Hell! I'm just gonna put it in Omdor. Unless... I can't? I don't see the option to build a trade company subsidiary, but it says I'm at 4 out of 5. Huh. Is that an option to kill? No. Let's make you level 4. Another obelisk of all space. Not autonomous administration. Plus a well-being foundation. Actually, why am I building that? I don't need more influence. I have way too much influence. I don't need to build any more influence buildings. Sometimes I get in that mode of like, that's what I would build in a new system if it were the middle of the game, even though it's not the middle of the game, and that's not worth building right now. System full of almost nothing. Yeah, Luxury's Lottery kind of sucks here. It only has one luxury resource. I'm making level 2 modernization, then a colonial rights. I've unlocked a new slot in my battle tactics set, which, of course, I haven't changed any battle tactics yet. I'm going to get lucky in this empty slot. And I'm going to ditch revive and rebuild because 15 dust is not that great anymore. And also, I didn't use that very often before. Shield Wall is a really nice one if you build ships with like the plasma beams that are only short range, because they go into short range and they're not as easily killed. Let's see. That's 25 extra experience hopefully is good. I'm going to take Barrage Fire, plus 2% damage at long range per enemy ship on ships, because I have a number of missile ships which are long range, and also because Cravers have their big fleets, extra size fleet bonus, so when you're fighting against Cravers, that's like the best that's ever going to be for you, because they have more ships than anyone else can have. You, Daro Santage. I guess I'll go back to giving him military stuff. I have him on a system now, but he will get switched as soon as the Cravers pull anything. Yeah, more health. Okay, that's one of those. And honestly, you guys just, well, before I tell this fleet to find its way home, I'm actually going to take this hero and assign him to something over here. I want the Vodyani hero on the energy weapons fleet. Yeah. Yeah, he teleported. Okay, fleet's at a safe distance, whatever. Okay, you guys fly home. Let's see if they get home before the game ends. Meanwhile, in the Kamos system, yeah. Dress. As you can see, I'm now mostly pretty happy just because level 4 developments, and I'm really undoing the overcolonization deal. That's getting up to that point really is when you can start like exploding and being amazing. I'll give that a Body Language Institute and rations, nano haze defenses. Yeah, this is. It's not on the border with the Cravers, but it is a border, and it's also only one away from where the point of attack would come, so it's worth having defensive buildings on it.
Tell us what you plan.
And now they're neutral again, so it now seems like a... Lumaris, why you gotta be like that? I don't want a truce. I always say no. I want to kidnap everyone in your system that you foolishly made a capital instead of a Mosa that was farther away from me. Ooh. That was weird. There you go. Door. Now, the thing is to do that quest, no religious laws. That includes the majority party free law. So I have to actually make them not be the top party. If they're party number 2, it doesn't matter if they're in the Senate, because then I could just have all militaristic laws. So I'm going to give reinforced imperial support to the militarists so that they will boot the religious out. Boom. And that jingoist joy bell gives me happiness for every war, which, ta-da! Now I'm like, close to achieving victory economy. Oh, and I got that achievement. Cool. Hero-led fleets only. Yeah, and you go to those fleets and fight off people from the other team and hold them, but the Academy quest, much like my faction quest, it's, I mean, I'm very close to winning here, so. Sir. I guess manpower refill on fleets. Speaking of fleets, let's get a few more of these merged. I don't need that shuttle. It's lame. I don't want it. And actually, these guys are going to go rendezvous with that other fleet. And yeah, plus. Oh, well, that would have been nice when I was flying around with him. Yeah, plus 20% damage and then plus 40% damage. And then that stacks with the plus energy weapon damage. So this guy's fleet is going to be the murder fleet. More resources. Autonomous administration. And I do have enough to build another arc, which I'm gonna build it in Iran and send that over to Polaris. Oh, more technology to research. Military, yeah! Interestingly, the thing about science victory, I did that with the Sophons, I'm not going for it this one, but you can almost always get a wonder victory faster than you can get a science victory. That's just how it is. Oh, and you know what else I should do while I have the chance here? Refuse. That's probably all of her influence, and it's a tiny bit of mine to refuse it. I'm gonna take my divine missile guys and give them better missiles. Also, let's get a Hyperion engine on there for the dodging. Yeah, just generally speaking, upgrade them. Upgrade. Upgrade. Alright, now if the Cravers try to pull anything, they will get blasted out of the sky with my missile fury.
What is your objective?
Yes, keep my fleets at a safe distance. I understand, Driftborn. Alright, decal. successfully abducted all the population on Naos. That's pretty sad for them. So now you see over here, I'm only making 195 essence per turn, which is basically nothing, but
What is your
I
objective?
have no practical need for more arcs at this point. I already control a huge amount of territory, and I'm going to win in 3 turns. Okay. Battled at Imnos. Oh, I didn't... I'm just gonna retreat. You guys keep going back home. Oh, failed to retreat and was destroyed. Oh, wow. They were too far away to help my war. Oh, what's that? Are those pirates? Just in case they attack Veron. That fleet is fast enough to get back to Lors in a hurry if the Cravers try anything. Which they seem like they're not planning on trying anything anyway, so... yeah, I'll just have them sleep there. Polaris. Why not a holy proliferation while we're at it? I'm just filling these queues with buildings because I don't want to have to bother with these systems again before I win. I'm not min-maxing that one's development. That's like, oh yeah, I got another thing, who cares? Or okay, you can be level 4 modernization. It's always good to build level 4 modernization if you can, and get another increase to your whatever you call it. Oh, it can build the Ministry of Truth, but not in this system because it'll take 30 turns. In fact, I don't think there's any system that can build that before the game ends. Not much point in building defensive buildings in Kamos because by the time they reach Kamos, like, there's no way I'm gonna win. That's at the very back of my empire. Alright, Takim. Just fill that up with building.
Horatio doubts your motives and your ethics.
Oh, Horatio, why are you even complaining? What could you possibly do to me? And also, just for the hell of it, I'm going to watch this one because I want to see a billion missiles absolutely annihilate those two guys. Or I don't get to watch because they retreat.
Our purpose is to kill.
This is not over. Okay, well, if you don't want it to be over, you literally have one turn to do something about this, Cravers. I'll build the Ministry of Truth, even though it's not going to finish, just because I feel like it. Well, let's... Meh. I don't think he has any probes on that fleet, but whatever. And honestly, because I'm going to win in a turn, I could even, like, ignore leveling my heroes, but I don't know. I don't like just ignoring those flashers on the side that could potentially make a difference, even though I know they're not going to, but, you know, and I'll do that just because if I ever do put him on a fleet, even that skill alone with no other fleet skills is really good. And there we go. My glorious cathedrals to the virtual endless have given me a wonder victory. That's how you win a wonder victory. That's how you play Vodyani. So yeah, cool. Thanks for watching, everybody. That's been my Let's Play.